In today's video, we continue our coverage on the legendary MonsterVerse Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. The movie may have come out, but there is so many new details coming out. There's so many teasers to what's coming next. Also, the box office has done crazy numbers, and it's very close, if not has broken $2 billion at the box office as a total, which is insane because your boy Space Godzilla hasn't turned up, your boy Destroyah hasn't turned up. There is so many freaking more powerful titans, kaijus to be revealed in said MonsterVerse. It's going to be a good time to be a MonsterVerse fan. So make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, pop culture, kaiju, MonsterVerse videos that we deliver on the daily basis. If you could become a channel member for less than 99p, less than $1, it helps keep the lights on in the Warstu studio. Also, if you want to see what the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice looks like, just check us out on Instagram at Warstu. Follow us over there. I would love to hit 30,000 followers on my Instagram account. That will be so cool. Also, check us out on Twitter or x.com because Elon Musk can't afford to change it to x.com because you type x.com in and it still says twitter.com. So, a Warstu G over there because someone stole my in handle. And yeah, I can't get the Warstu back. It's bad. So, let's break it down. There's actually lots to go over in this video. So, the movie came out officially on Friday. It's breaking numbers all everywhere this year. So, allegedly, it's got a $195 million total, which is actually insane because the predicted budget of what came out said $135 million. Now, I don't know if that's just Legendary's contribution because Legendary funds 75%. Warner Bros., technically Warner Bros. Discovery, funds the other 25%. Maybe the $135 million is after tax credits because I don't believe that's the budget for this movie. It looks more like close to $200 million. So Variety and a multitude of other websites have had a really positive articles about the box office. Godzilla X Kong crushes expectation with $80 million. Now this is huge, right? Because the last Godzilla movie came out in 2021, but that came out just after the it was HBO day-and-day release, and it still made just under $500 million. But why was that so good? Because you have people going, oh, the Suicide Squad movie was R-rated. It came on HBO Max day-and-day release. Yeah, that did just under 200. So the fact that Godzilla vs Kong back in 2021 did just under $500 million and it came on HBO Max is wonderful. So I really think this movie will be successful. Now, it has been critically acclaimed, kind of. The cinema score is an A-. The Rotten Tomato score is around 50-ish%, but the audience score is more important. The audience score is over 90%. Most people who I've spoken to personally have watched the movie, and everyone thinks it's pretty epic. It's a good, fun time. So as it says here, Godzilla X Kong movie tends to, especially, it's huge at the international box office. New Empire is no different. It's far exceeded expectations. Not really. I expected it to do bigger than that. In 64 territories, bringing in a global total of $194 million over 3 days. That's pretty sick. It's already the third highest grossing movie of the year following Dune Part 2, which has just broke $600 million in 5 weeks. Kung Fu Panda 4, $347 million after 4 weeks of release. What's interesting about Kung Fu Panda 4 is it's literally released in the UK this week, yet it's been out in America for such a long time. Now, I would say there's some conjecture on this next part. The New Empire carries a $135 million production budget. I don't believe that. I think that's either after tax credits, tax breaks, where they get money back, or that's, just Legendary's part. I can't believe the movie is that cheap. Then it goes on to say that Godzilla vs Kong made $474 million after the pandemic, realistically. Then it goes on to say managed to surpass 2019 King of the Monsters that did $387 million, even though many movie theaters were shut down due to COVID. So realistically for me, I don't need to tell you this, I think King of the Monsters is the most grounded movie of them all. I'm a big fan of Godzilla X Kong, Godzilla vs Kong. They're both great movies, and there is so much freaking potential of where this could go. Now, it will be very interesting to see what happens this coming week because, like I say, Kung Fu Panda 4 comes out in the UK. There's a bunch of other movies coming out as well. Nothing that I think can topple it. I think this is going to have a good run for the next 2-3 weeks. So, as you know, with all kind of comic book, pop culture based movies, generally you get some kind of book that comes out. So there's a novelization book coming out for said movie. And yes, some people said there's conjecture because it's not confirmed or verified, but there is some pretty cool information in said article. And I thought because we've been covering Godzilla for so long, we might as well cover this. SHIMO is at least 3 million years old. Now, this is the bit here. SHIMO froze Ghidorah. That was never confirmed in said movie, but There is some conjecture there because I had access, okay, I can say this now because the movie's out. I had access to a script where they were going to say that SHIMO froze. Dr. Andrews was going to say that SHIMO froze King Ghidorah, but for some reason, it didn't actually say that in the said movie. SHIMO's breath can slow down atoms. I mean, if it caused the ice, so you would kind of expect it to be able to slow down atoms. Now, this part here is interesting. Godzilla X Kong takes place in 2027. Wild entertainment. Scylla had no containment field and was presumed dead when found, which is interesting. I mean, personally, I don't know why they had to kill off Scylla and Tiamat, but I guess this is what it is. There's loads of other kaiju they can bring in. Other creatures. New creature called Giraffe. Beetle that eats electric cables. All animals seen to possibly originate in the Hollow Earth. Yeah, I know it's the Hollow Earth, but sometimes I say Hollow Earth because you guys, I don't know, I like to troll you guys a bit. Red painted apes are called Red Stripes. Tree monster is called Tree Mimic. Interesting. These are really, like, you know, fine details that you would not know. And I mean, it gives more context in certain circumstances, I guess. City is called Malanka. Godzilla absorbed part of Tiamat's DNA. Well, that does make sense because he was absorbing the radiation to make himself stronger through a threat that was coming, and I don't believe this. I don't believe he was trying to power up to take out Scar King. Let's be honest. Godzilla, the top G, could have bodied both of them himself. Now, this part here is interesting. SHIMO maybe was the alpha before. That would make sense. If SHIMO is allegedly 3 million years old, then she would be the alpha before the alpha. Remains of Mechagodzilla are in the Monarch building. I mean, again, this makes sense. Project Powerhouse was built from the Mecha-G technology. Again, interesting. Godzilla's new form was made from Tiamat's DNA. Again, interesting. Giant river leech mentioned. Jaya was chosen because she was an Iwi that was deaf and could sense Mothra's vibration. Kong can sense Mothra, and Godzilla are like family. Oh my god, has Kong got some kind of telekinesis powers? Biolakotata suggests it's the same as Mothra somehow. Okay, I can't read that word. But yeah, this is all fantastic stuff. The fact that SHIMO's allegedly 3 million years old is insane. Also, the fact that this movie allegedly takes place in 2027, when it's only actually 2024, is pretty wild. So also in the news, now this bit here is interesting, right? Because there's lots of tidbits coming out from said novels. So the existence of SHIMO may spur on governments to take over Hollow Earth, which could lead to a world-ending event. Oh my god, destroy all monsters is coming. Destroy all monsters. Oxygen Destroyer. Destroyer confirmed. We're going to have to talk about Destroyer now. As we know, a lot of people have said since King of the Monsters that Destroyer was essentially confirmed, and people have wanted Godzilla to go up against Destroyer because Destroyer is a top-tier level kaiju titan. Yeah, I know what you're going to say, lads, but Warstu doesn't know anything. I know enough to talk about this kind of stuff. So yes, there have been teasers throughout the kaiju monsterverse of Destroyer. Now, who is Destroyer? So, the villain first appeared in the 95 Godzilla vs. Destroyer. Destroyer's origins date back to the events of the first Godzilla movie in 1954. The military used a weapon called Oxygen Destroyer to kill Godzilla in the ocean. A device that returned for the same purpose in Godzilla King of the Monsters. The Oxygen Destroyer also unintended side effects such as mutating a colony of microscopic crustaceans, which caused them to grow into a single monstrous life form known as Destroyer, with his powerful micro-oxygen beam laser shooting horns and spiked claws. The creature became one of Godzilla's deadliest opponents, and yeah, that's saying something, which is insane because realistically, the only villains he's had that have been OP level would be Mechagodzilla. I mean, technically, you can't class SHIMO because that wasn't really a villain. Scar King, he bodied Scar King. King Ghidorah gave him a really good fight, and Mewtwo gave him a really good fight. So the Oxygen Destroyer has already been teased in the Kaiju MonsterVerse and King of the Monsters. So that is why a lot of people seem to think that Destroyer could be a really cool villain. The fact that this novelization says could lead to a world-ending event, and we could finally see Destroyer, and this has led a lot of people to think that the governments around the world are going to try and harness the power of the Hollow Earth, which, I mean, it could be interesting, and it could lead to destroy all monsters. And yeah, I know I made a video saying Space Godzilla is most likely going to be the villain for the next movie, or could. That was more of like a theory-based video, but it could be true. We could get Destroy, we could get Space Godzilla, we could get any of them, which is insane, because like I said, they're close to hitting 2 billion for the franchise of the MonsterVerse, and we haven't really seen any insane level villains yet, if you're being honest. Because let's be honest, Mechagodzilla got bodied, Scar King got bodied, King Ghidorah eventually got kind of bodied, with a lot of help, obviously. So it is a fantastic time for the MonsterVerse, because so much has been coming out in the last few days. Obviously, the news for Godzilla X Kong and the aftermath is likely to slow down very, very soon. But it is cool that we are getting information, because that's pretty cool. And also a little more information. Godzilla seems to like Rome because the architect reminds him of an old temple. And that's again from this novel, which it's, you know, revealed in a lot of details here and there, which is cool because it is quite a random place for him to lie down in a Colosseum. And it's cool because he didn't break it either, which is interesting. So let me know, this world-ending event, what could that be? What do you think it could be? Is it leading to Destroyah? Is Warstu stretching with his Space Godzilla theories? Are YouTubers going to make videos of me talking about Space Godzilla? I really hope they do, but this world-ending event could be anything. I personally think it's a bit too early to do Destroy All Monsters. That's like the Avengers Endgame level of the MonsterVerse, and realistically, there were not that many movies into the MonsterVerse. There's so much freaking potential. And it is worth saying, Adam Wingard's comments say, when he said, yo, I'll do what I did for Kong, but for Godzilla, if I get next movie. Yeah, obviously that's not confirming anything, but the fact that a director said it kind of tells you that, yo, if this movie bangs, and it's already banged opening weekend, as long as there isn't a huge drop-off over the next couple of weeks, pretty obvious they're going to ask Adam Wingard to do the last movie in said trilogy if they want to. And it is clear that it would be a Godzilla-led movie because he said that, but Kong would still appear in said movie. Why? Because they make a lot more money for merchandise and toy sales when they have more Titans in these movies, i.e. Godzilla and Kong being in the same movie. And everyone loves Kong and everyone loves Godzilla. Godzilla got enough screen time in my opinion, but a lot of people weren't happy with the amount of screen time that he got, but I don't really understand why they don't. So likewise, guys, let us know, what do you think about this new information? It is pretty cool. Yeah, okay, there was no post-credit scene, but I mean, it is what it is. There realistically, I mean, technically, there was a sound that you could say was Destroyah or Space Godzilla, if you want to go down that route. So likewise, guys, don't worry, I will still do MonsterVerse videos. I'm going to do a video at some point about the most powerful Titans and who should really be in the next movie and how they should go about it, if enough people want me to do something like that. So likewise, guys, check us out on Instagram at WarstuCB, check us out on Twitter, HGG, and we'll catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch you later.